Hello, I'm the real life fake wizard. There's a scene in the 2005 Charlie and the Chocolate Factory that I've been thinking about a lot lately. Charlie's father works at a toothpaste factory. He screws the caps on the tubes. It's an honest day's work, but it barely pays the bills. And then one day, a machine shows up that can screw caps faster, cheaper, and without bathroom breaks. Charlie's dad loses his job. But at the end of the film, after Charlie wins the factory, we see his father again. He's back at the toothpaste plant, but he's not screwing caps anymore. He's repairing the machine that took his job. That's not a happy ending. That's a warning. Yeah, the machine didn't go away. The machine won. And the only reason Charlie's dad has any job at all is because he learned how to work with the machine instead of being replaced by it. My friends, that's exactly where we're heading. That's the era we're moving into right now. And if you're not paying attention, if you're not preparing, you're going to be the guy who used to screw the caps on the toothpaste with nowhere to go and no new skills to offer. This video here is not an endorsement of AI. I know that there are many of you who are already seething and lashing out at me in the comments, so I want to be very clear about this early on. I think AI is overhyped. I think it's often stupid, often riddled with mistakes, but I also think, more importantly, it's being used by corporations in ways that should concern everyone. But it doesn't even matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you think. This isn't just in Hollywood or in gaming or in media or entertainment. This is everything, everywhere, all at once, all over the world. The train is moving. The only question is whether you're on it or under it. Today's indie game shoutout is Grimshire. A deadly plague threatens the village of Grimshire. Manage your farmland, forage the bounty of the wilds, prevent your harvest from rotting away, and keep the root cellar full. Can you help bring the community together and survive? To learn more about this and hundreds of other indie games, visit our new indie game directory, fakeportal.com, or scan the QR code on your screen. Now back to the video. In 2025 alone, employers attributed over 54,000 layoffs directly to AI. That's not speculation, it's documented. Companies are already replacing human workers with AI systems, and they're not being quiet about it. And we're still just at the beginning. Projections from Goldman Sachs, McKinsey, the World Economic Forum, all of these organizations are forecasting massive displacement. We're talking somewhere between 92 million and 300 million jobs affected globally by 2030, which is not that far away. The range is wide because nobody knows exactly how fast this will move, but the direction is pretty clear and we're moving pretty fast. And there is something different happening here that hasn't happened in previous automation waves through human history. This is not hitting factory workers first. This is hitting white-collar jobs and entry-level positions, the jobs that college graduates were promised would be safe because they required thinking. A Stanford study found a 13% decline in entry-level jobs in AI-exposed fields since ChatGPT launched. 13% in only 2 years. Coders, writers, marketers, graphic designers, customer service representatives, data analysts. These are the jobs getting automated now. I run a marketing business. I've been working in the marketing sector of the United States for over a decade now. I've seen what these tools can do to workflows that used to require entire teams. Tasks that took hours now take minutes. And every business owner with a spreadsheet is looking at their payroll asking the same questions. Do I really need to pay all these people? But let's talk about who's actually benefiting from all this AI adoption, because spoiler alert, it ain't you. Corporate profits in the United States hit $3.2 trillion in 2025, record highs. Meanwhile, wages have stagnated. The efficiency gains from AI aren't being passed to workers in the form of higher pay. They're not being passed to the consumers in the form of lower prices either. They're going straight to shareholders. Some economists project AI might actually reduce wage inequality because it's displacing high-income jobs, but wealth inequality? That is exploding. The people who own the AI companies, the shareholders, the executives, they are capturing all the gains. Even if wages flatten across the board, the people who own the clankers will continue getting exponentially richer. You're not just competing for jobs, you're watching the ladder get pulled up behind you. In fact, prices are continuing to go up too. AI-driven dynamic pricing, where algorithms adjust what you pay based on your personal data, your location, your browsing history, is creating price variations of 10 to 23% on identical items. You and your neighbor can buy the same product from the same website and pay completely different amounts because an AI decided you'd be willing to pay more. Consumer Reports found that Instacart's AI pricing experiments could cost families an extra $1,200 per year in inflated grocery prices. $1,200 for the privilege of being algorithmically profiled. The data centers running all of these AI systems are consuming massive amounts of energy. Studies project power demand increasing 160% by 2030, which again is not far away. That's driving up utility bills today. Estimates range from 3.6 to 8% increases, costs that get directly passed to you. You're the one paying for it. You ever notice how we keep buying electronically efficient devices, but our energy bills keep going up? This is why. President Trump just announced he wants AI companies to start paying fairly for their power consumption, but that could take God knows how long to be implemented, and who knows what bureaucratic nonsense will get built into whatever bill they push out from their rectums. Ain't that something? But it's not just your wallets they're after, it's your data, your behavior, your life. AI is now being used in hiring decisions, algorithms deciding whether you get an interview or not, in housing applications, determining whether you're approved for an apartment, in welfare determinations, calculating whether you qualify for assistance. The ACLU has documented AI systems making life-altering decisions about people with zero transparency and zero recourse. In schools, AI surveillance monitors students' online activity, flagging behavior, tracking engagement. You're being watched. Your children are being watched, sorted, and judged by systems you can't see and can't appeal. Corporations are using AI to fire workers. They're using AI to charge you more for the same products. They're using AI to surveil your behavior and extract maximum values. And the efficiency gains, the productivity improvements that could theoretically benefit everyone, are being hoarded at the top. It's interesting, Elon Musk talked about this on Joe Rogan a few months back, but we're seeing in real time the utopia that Elon believed is not possible. This is what AI means in practice. Not the utopian vision of technology liberating humanity, the reality of corporations using every tool available to squeeze regular people harder. You need to understand this. The companies building and deploying AI are not your friends. They're not doing this to help you. They're doing it to extract every bit of possible value from you. And if you weren't angry before, what I'm about to say might make you angry, and I'm not sorry. If you spend any time on Twitter or X or Blue Sky or any social media app, you've seen the posts. I'll never use AI. AI free and proud. Support human artists, reject the clankers. And look, I understand the impulse, I really do. There are legitimate reasons to be uncomfortable with this technology. It's justified, and later on we will get into these points, but your moral stance doesn't protect you or your job. Corporations don't care about your principles. They care about profit. And if AI can do your job 80% as well for 20% of the cost, you're getting replaced. It doesn't matter how many retweets your anti-AI post got. It doesn't matter how righteous you feel about refusing to engage with the technology. The spreadsheet doesn't have a column for employees' personal ethics. We've seen this movie before. In the 1990s, there were people who refused to learn computers. I don't need email. I don't need spreadsheets. I've been doing this job for 20 years without a computer, and I'll keep doing it. Where are those people now? They're not employed, or they're in diminished roles, left behind by an economy that moved on without them. Their principled stances accomplished exactly nothing except their own marginalization. You know, here's the thing with the anti-AI virtue signaling crowd, right? Refusing to learn the tools doesn't stop the tools from being used against you. If you're a writer who refuses to learn how AI works, you're not stopping AI from being used to generate content. You're just ensuring you don't understand the thing that's reshaping your industry. If you're an artist who refuses to engage with image generators, you're not stopping corporations from using them. You're just making yourself less competitive against people who understand both traditional skills and the new tools. The technology exists. It's being deployed. It's being used to make decisions about your life. What jobs you can get, what prices you pay, what content you see. You can stick your head in the sand and feel morally superior. You virtue signal all the live long day. Or you can learn how these systems work so you have some chance of navigating them. This isn't about liking AI. I don't like AI. I wish it wasn't nearly as nuclear as it is. I wish it wasn't harvesting our words, our art, and our works. But it's not about what we wish anymore. Now it's about not being crushed by corporate oligarchs who will use these tools to make life for us even more difficult. And I can hear the comments from ignorant people who don't want to hear what I'm saying or don't even want to consider what I'm saying. He's advocating for AI. Yuck, unsubscribe. Bye. Goodbye. Peace out. But allow me to actually validate your concerns first, because you're not wrong. There are legitimate grievances with AI. If you've listened to this video at all, you've heard quite a bit of them already. They're real and they're serious. Job displacement is happening. It's documented. It's accelerating. When artists and writers and coders say they're losing work to AI, they ain't making it up. The 54,000 layoffs I mentioned earlier, those are real people with real families who lost real income. The training data issue is legitimate. These AI models were built by scraping the internet, including copyrighted works from artists and writers who never consented and will never be compensated. When someone says AI is built on theft, they're not wrong. They have a point. The legal questions are still being sorted out, but the ethical questions are very clear. Bias and discrimination in AI systems are documented as well. These tools perpetuate and sometimes amplify existing prejudices. Hiring algorithms that can discriminate, lending systems that redline, facial recognition that fails on certain demographics, not theoretical anymore. These are real dystopian things happening. And then, of course, there's the quality issue, the soulless slop flooding the internet. Yeah, that's very real too. AI-generated content is often mediocre, derivative, and increasingly polluting the information ecosystem. The internet is getting worse because of low-effort AI spam. So yes, the grievances are legitimate and the anger is justified, but here's what I need you to understand. You can hate AI all the livelong day, and you can still need to be familiar with it. These aren't contradictory positions. You can think this technology is being deployed unethically while also recognizing that refusing to engage with it leaves you defenseless. You can criticize corporations for how they're using AI while also learning enough to protect yourself from their worst impulses. The people who hate AI the most are often the people who need to understand how it works, because they're the ones being targeted by it first. Let's go back to Charlie Bucket's dad here. He didn't want to lose his job. He didn't ask for the machine. He probably hated it. Watching a robot do the work that fed his family for years, that's humiliating. That had to be deeply unfair, but he had a choice. He could refuse to engage with the machine, stand on principle, declare that he would never work with the thing that replaced him, and remain unemployed while his family starved. They didn't know they were going to win a chocolate factory at the end of the film. You know, or he can learn how the machine worked, adapt his skills, become useful in the new paradigm, and have a job even if it wasn't the job he wanted. The machine didn't care about his feelings. The machine didn't care about him or his family. The machine didn't care about fairness. The machine just existed. And the only question was whether he would figure out how to exist alongside it. This has happened before. History repeats. This isn't new. When automation swept through manufacturing, workers who adapted survived. Workers who refused didn't. When computers transformed office work, people who learned the tools stayed employed. People who insisted on typewriters became obsolete. The pattern is always the same. Technology displaces, technology disrupts. Some people adapt and find new roles, others don't and they get left behind. The window to learn is now. Right now, today, AI tools are accessible. ChatGPT, Claude, Midjourney, Grok, you can use them. You can experiment, you can figure out what they're good at and what they're terrible at. There's a lot of things they're terrible at. You can develop skills that will be valuable, but that window might not stay open forever, and I don't think it will. You know, the World Economic Forum projects 170 million new jobs will be created by AI. Great, but those jobs require advanced skills that take years to develop. And corporations aren't paying for you to get your education. They're not giving you paid time off to go learn. They're just expecting you to figure it out on your own time with your own money, while your bills pile up and your current job evaporates. Reskilling is the phrase they use, like that's their answer for this. But they're not offering to help you do it. That's why the window I'm talking about matters. As AI becomes more central to the economy, expect corporate gatekeeping, expect certifications and credentials that do cost money, expect the tools to become more locked down, more controlled, and probably more expensive. Learn now while you can. Learn while the barriers are low. Learn before the people in power figure out how to charge you for the privilege. But hang on. What actually is consumer grade AI right now, right? Well, today AI is early. It's still very early, and it's stupid. It's extremely stupid. And I know those two statements sound dismissive given everything I've said up to this point about its impact, but it's true. These large language models hallucinate constantly. They make up facts. They cite sources that don't exist. They confidently state things that are completely dead wrong. Image generators still struggle with hands, with text, with basic human physics. The outputs require significant human curation to be usable. The people who treat AI as a magic box that produces perfect work are setting themselves up for failure. If you use AI as a crutch, if you stop thinking because the machine will think for you, you will produce garbage, and eventually that will be exposed. That's not how you survive this transition that I've been talking about here. AI is a tool. It's like a hammer. It's like a calculator, like a search engine. It amplifies human capability. It doesn't replace human judgment. The people who will thrive are the ones who use AI as a force multiplier. They bring skills, knowledge, taste, judgment, and then use AI to execute faster, to iterate more, to expand and stretch their creativity and explore options they wouldn't have time to explore manually. The people who will fail are the ones who bring nothing and expect AI to provide everything, because AI amplifies what you bring to it. If you bring nothing, it amplifies nothing. Garbage in, garbage out. So for me to say something like learn AI, I don't mean stop thinking. I mean the opposite. I mean understand the tool well enough to know when it's useful and when it's pure garbage. AI is a tool. Tools are neutral. A hammer can build a house, or it can be used for violence. The tool doesn't decide, humans do. The enemy is the humans who decide to use AI for extraction rather than augmentation. The same AI that's displacing workers could be used to reduce work weeks. Imagine AI handling the tedious parts of your job, freeing you to do more meaningful work in fewer hours. That's technically possible for millions of people right now, and most don't know it. It's not happening because corporations don't want it to happen. They want the same output with fewer employees, not the same employees working fewer hours. The same AI that enables dynamic pricing, which I didn't know existed until I started doing research for this video, could be used to find consumers the best deals. Instead, companies are using it to charge you the maximum that you'll tolerate. That's a choice. That's a corporate choice. The same AI that enables mass surveillance could be used to protect privacy, detect fraud, secure systems, and instead, it's deployed to monitor workers, profile consumers, watch your children in school, and optimize extraction. Every harmful application of AI is a choice made by humans with power. The technology didn't happen to make those choices, executives did. Systems designed to maximize profit at any cost. So when you're angry about AI, and perhaps you should be angry, direct that anger correctly. The tool isn't oppressing you. The people with all the money to burn wielding the tools are. The people shaping AI policy, AI deployment, AI ethics, they're people who understand the technology. If everyone who cares about workers' rights and consumer protection, about human dignity, refuses to engage with the AI, they surrender the entire field to people who don't care about any of those things. So at that point, it becomes essential to learn the tool, to understand the tool. Then we use the tool to fight, to ensure that the tool is always used ethically. But okay, let's get practical here. What does this actually mean for you at home today? Firstly, learn the tools that are relevant to your field. If you're a writer, learn how the language models work. If you're an artist, understand image generators. If you're a coder, explore AI coding assistants. If you're in marketing like me, learn how AI is being used for content analysis and automation. You don't have to become an expert, you just have to become literate. You have to understand what these tools can do and can't do, so you're not blindsided when they show up in your workplace. Secondly, understand the limitations. Don't trust AI blindly, you need to verify outputs. Fact-check the claims that come out of these things. Develop the judgment to know when AI is helping and when it's hallucinating bullshit. The people who get burned by AI are often the ones who don't bother checking their work. Third, use AI to enhance your work, not replace your thinking. The goal is leverage, not laziness. If AI lets you produce twice as much in the same time while maintaining quality, that's value. That's valuable. If AI produces garbage that you slap your name on without review, well, that's career suicide. Fourth, position yourself as someone who works with AI, not someone replaced by it. The repairman for the robot has a job. The person the robot replaced doesn't. Become the person who understands both the traditional skills and the new tools. That combination is imperative. Fifth, stay adaptable. Whatever I tell you today might be outdated in a year, but let's be real, it's going to be outdated tomorrow. The technology is moving that fast. The economy is shifting fast. We're in a race. All the world's a stage and we're watching as they're battling it out on who wins the AI fight. The only constant is change. You need to build the habit of continuous learning now because you're gonna need it, man. These are the choices in front of all of us. Corporations are gonna use AI regardless of your feelings. The train has left the station. The efficiency gains are just too attractive. The profit motive is just too strong. No amount of Twitter posts or negative comments or Reddit threads or moral objections are gonna stop it. Prices are going to rise because AI enables more sophisticated extraction. Jobs are going to disappear because AI makes certain workers redundant. Surveillance is going to expand because AI makes it cheaper and more comprehensive. Take a good look into Peter Thiel and Palantir after this video ends. Palantir, the surveillance company that wants to put cameras on every street corner in the world, is literally named after the seeing stones from Lord of the Rings. And just like in Middle-earth, they're not all accounted for, and you don't know who's watching. This is happening now. We're not predicting. This is an observation. It's already underway. You can refuse to engage. You can stand on principles. More power to you. You can collect your likes and retweets from people who agree with you. You're going to repost this video and say I'm such an asshole for defending AI, even though I'm really not. And you can watch the economy transform around you while you remain stubbornly, proudly, uselessly unprepared. Or you can learn the tools. You can understand the systems, develop the skills that remain valuable, position yourself to survive what's coming. Again, I'm not telling you I love AI. I don't love it. I don't know how to make that any clearer, actually. I don't know how to express the fact that in the corporate world, you're losing the ability to work with people. And they're giving you even more responsibility as an employee. They expect more from you. You as an individual person need to produce the work of 7 people now just to try and survive. And you might not make it to Wednesday. AI has created that. AI has destroyed people working together. But I'm also not going to pretend that my feelings matter more than economic reality against the most evil and corrupt corporate enslavers that have ever existed in history ever, because that's what we're working with now. That's what's on the horizon. The boot, my friends, is coming whether you like it or not. The only question is whether you're an ant underneath it. Until next time, create, innovate, inspire others to do so as well. And for the love of God, cancel Disney Plus. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Next video will be more positive. Bye-bye. Oh boy. Oh boy.